Have you ever felt helpless, out of control, something really bothering you, had no way around? How did that make you feel? Do you feel that way now? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I want to talk about this from 3 different levels. Let's start at the worldwide level. During the Spanish flu time, 1918, 500 million people got the Spanish flu. 50 million died from it. 10% of the world's population that got the Spanish flu died from it. They used the best methods they could at the time to take care of themselves. And since they didn't have a lot of information, they put face masks on, hoping that would help them. Let's go forward to Blitz. 57 days and nights, London was bombed by the Germans. 2 million homes were destroyed. 43,000 civilians were killed. They had a subway or a shelter that they went to. They didn't stand out in the middle of the street and say, well, I hope the bombs don't hit me. They used what they had available at the time. So that's the worldwide view and the country view. Let's take it down one more notch. Let's take it down to Louis Zamperini. In 1943, his B-24 bomber had mechanical problems after a bombing run and had to ditch at sea in the Pacific. Louis and 2 of his fellow crew members survived on a raft for 47 days. And then they were picked up by the Japanese, who tortured them till the end of the war. If you remember from the slide, the picture of Louis was 1998. By that time, he'd gone back and forgiven all of his guards for the way they treated him in the internment camp. People asked him, how did you survive that long on the raft? And he's an expert. I think if we're going to ask anybody how to survive, we ought to ask an expert. And since we can't ask anybody from 1918 or the Second World War, Louis said, we were sharper after 47 days than the day we started because our minds were empty of war and contamination. We had clean minds to fill with good thoughts. Every day we would exercise our minds. So how are you exercising your minds right now? As you're facing this elephant in the room, have you attached yourself to the TV set and are you binge watching Netflix and Amazon and Disney? Or are you trolling the internet all day long to hear all the bad news and the conspiracy theories that you can center your mind on? Or are you waking up on a daily basis and know that right now, right this instant, you are safe and you are in control of those things that are in your power? You can be aware of what's going on, but you don't have to obsess about it. Because those things that are going on that are outside your sphere of influence, you have no control over. You have to realize that the majority of what's going on this planet is still well-being. If you had to go to your doctor and your doctor said to you, in the event that you do catch the virus, your survival rate is only 95%. What would you do? Would you get in a panic? One man in Idaho got in a panic when he thought he had coronavirus, and he shot his wife and then himself, and they ultimately tested out negative. You have to decide what's going to control you. And the only way you're going to do that is to get control of your life. A morning ritual that could help you. And I want it to be your new ABCs. I want you to awaken every morning knowing that you're alive and you're well, and align your awareness to your aliveness. Acknowledge you are present and life is ongoing. Be thankful. Start writing things down in a journal as soon as possible for all the things you are thankful for. Studies show appreciation removes fear. Count your blessings. And C, communicate. Communicate, which involves listening with your family, friends, and neighbors. Communication keeps you from withdrawing into yourself. You're facing a challenge right now. How you deal with it will shape your life. You're not powerless. You control one of the most powerful forces on the planet, a force which created everything man-made. You are a powerful creator. The last chapter isn't written on your life yet. This may be a time you will remember, or your family and friends will remember when you look back on this. What memory do you wish to leave? How are you going to deal with the elephant in the room? What are you going to create?